Gentlemen of Congress, we are here today to give you our final thoughts on why apologizing to the Native Americans would be an unnecessary step for this nation. 15 years ago, a critical step in our nation's history was made. The act stated was the Indian Removal Act. This act bettered an economy, salvaged Indians' religions and beliefs, and supported in sorting out conflicts of two unlike peoples. I do not believe that any of these are proper reasons to apologize to the tribes. In previous chances that the Indians had to assimilate, they refused to do so and caused conflict and resentment among the white settlers and all others whose only crime was attempting to help them fit in. Passing this act was a crucial and decisive stride in making this country what it is today.
As I have stated before, our country would have been suffering greatly without the passing of the Indian Removal Act. Personally, I cannot see a single way that our economy would have benefited had we not passed this act. With the passing of the act, our economy and population both grew drastically, getting our country to where we are today. We are one of the wealthiest countries in the world, and have been a wealthy country for a long time. If the Indian Removal Act was a negative step for the United States, why is our country in this position? And why is it still continuing to develop at a rapid rate? These things are essential to think about when weighing the positives and negatives of the Indian Removal Act.
The Indian Removal Act brought on more violence than was necessary. There is no doubt about that. But I do not know one controversial issue that has not brought on some form of violence. The number of lives sacrificed for the Indian Removal Act is devastating. But by the completion of the act, I hope that many innocent lives have been saved by the separation. When we, Congress, passed the Indian Removal Act, we were helping to protect future generations from bloodshed that might have occurred from settlers and Native Americans living close together. Personally, I do not think apologizing for saving our descendants and the Native Americans' descendants preventable strife is required. Everyone who is present knows that our culture and the Native Americans' culture differ drastically. The diversity and uniqueness of both cultures are wonderful and should be continued for generations to come. That is why we should allow the Native Americans to practice their culture in peace, without interference from ours. It was wrong of us to send missionaries in the first place to change the Native Americans. But by giving the Native Americans, they no longer have to be a people that they are not. Therefore, there is no need for the act of apology to be passed for a great deed, such as preserving the culture.
It is important to think about the future. As a young country in the developing world, the future of our country is very important. We may both survive and develop into an even greater country, or we may end up as a disaster and be forgotten. Which will you choose, my fellow congressmen? The choice that you make will rely on this vote. If you decide to apologize to the Indians, chaos will break out, thus causing money to be spent on war material and downhill from there. Does that sound, as said by our opposing team, quote, morally right, unquote, to you? To destroy people's homes, hope, and even lives. Not just Americans, but Indians too? No, this is definitely not morally right. Fellow congressmen, the decision you are about to make will affect America forever. I am hoping that you will make the correct decision and not issue a resolution of apology. Our lives depend on it. Thank you.